is Max Access, where Mackenzie Barwell takes you closer to members of Forge FC off the pitch on the Forge Audio Network.
Bekks, welcome back to Max Access.
Pleasure to be here.
Thank you for joining me. I know it was a little bit of a last minute call up.
Hey, that's what we do. We're in the industry.
We are. We've come a long way.
Truly.
I've got a plan for today.
Okay.
In doing some research for what to talk about today, I was reminiscing on our past episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, the last one we did was relatively recent, a couple months ago, talking about your driving tests, strategic suspensions, different road trips and such. But let me tell you, the episode from a year ago, tough watch.
No good?
Tough watch.
Yeah. See, you just
don't recommend.
Keep that one in the... Yeah, keep it in the bank. Don't look at it.
Yeah, I'm not going to link it. Let's just say that. Link will not be in the description.
That's
for
fair.
that.
That's
so
fair.
We'll revisit that episode because I want to follow up on some things that we talked about. But I've got some things before that. The first being your podcast. It has since shifted to the online space. Mitch, of course, has advocated for it just not being on camera completely.
Yeah.
Where do you stand on that?
I could go either way.
Yeah?
I mean, as we discussed last night, I'm not really a big fan of watching it back anyway. Yeah. I don't even believe it's actually real. I'm not convinced they actually publish it.
It feels like that.
Yeah. And if I don't listen to it, then that's how it is in my head.
Do you miss like underneath the stairs though?
Yeah, 100%. I think that was
fun.
It was nice. It's cool when you're like actually interacting with the person. That's a lot better. But I think this is just a way for us to actually follow through with our obligation of doing it.
Yes, and it's more consistent. Yeah. Now there's just a couple signatures beneath this.
Yeah.
The stands.
Which is pretty sweet.
Which is just funny, I guess.
That's just in the folklore now. Yeah.
Okay, well, I know that episode hasn't come out yet. The one that we recorded yesterday. Sorry, spoiler alert. I got the feature on the log last night.
Boom.
However, I did find the penalty kick video
Ooh.
that I was looking for.
Oh, here we go.
And I would like to show you.
Get a little reaction video going?
Yes, okay. Yeah. For context, this is not really spoiling anything for yours, but we were just talking about beer league and like big moments, and mine was my first PK goal. This is really hard to watch back, and you'll understand why I don't want to show it to Bobby.
Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, for context, we said you should show it to Bobby in your next behind the beard. Yeah. And
I said I'd lose respect if I showed him. So you could just quickly, I'll insert it.
Where is this? At Mac, you said?
Yeah.
All right. Just like they mowed the lawn a year ago. Yeah. I mean, the celly though, that was like me on CHCH lifting the hands up when Tim put up the shield.
That's exactly what it reminded me.
So much enthusiasm.
2 hands up.
Yeah.
And as I said, we were in fact.
Yeah. That's good. Honestly, it was better than I thought it was going to be.
Really?
Yeah. I
Let's get a slow-mo. Whoa. Oh, this guy didn't stand a chance.
Were you aiming that way though?
Yes.
Okay, then there you go.
Bottom right.
Then you did
corner.
everything. You gave the goalie the hips, and it was over. Boom.
Game
done.
over.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts watching that? Do you think it would still be worth me showing it to him?
100%.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And if he gets a little too chirpy with it, just bring out the photo that was out after practice today.
Yeah. Okay. So there were, after practice today, Myra, our social media coordinator, brought out some old photos of coaches.
Yeah, I don't know how she found them, but she was in the archives and she pulled up some throwback pics of every member of staff. And
really?
It was iconic.
I didn't really get a good look at all of them, and I didn't see Bobby's. What was his?
It was him and Nikos. So back, I think, when they first started working together in Greece at Olympiakos. And it is iconic. Bobby's rocking a pair of 3/4 length pants.
Oh, no
which
way.
are about as good as you can imagine.
No way.
Yeah.
Just cut off right around the calves.
Yeah, 25 out of 10. So good.
I didn't see it.
Just looks so Euro. It's awesome.
The one of Kit was interesting.
Yeah.
He looks like a different person.
Yeah. Was he playing? Who knows? Because maybe he wasn't in the weight room too much. I don't know.
It didn't even look like. I think he was just wearing a jersey. It looked like he was like a fan.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I can only say this because I got a lot of tough photos. I got a lot of tough ones. Yeah. I don't think I'm the most photogenic out there, but it's hilarious. You can't laugh at yourself.
Yeah. I'm sure she'll do it for the players sooner than later.
I mean, you'd hope so.
Yeah.
Got to keep this thing going.
I'll ask Bobby I'll revisit that maybe with him next week. I got to see the
That'd
photo.
be good.
Okay. Let's talk about your season. What's going on recently? Came into practice this morning. What was that activation you guys were doing? You guys were throwing balls at like a yoga ball.
Yeah.
So from what I'm on 7, right? So I'm watching it, bird's eye view situation. You guys are around the center circle, yoga ball in the middle. Everyone's just chucking soccer balls at it.
Yeah.
What was the point of that? And what is...
Honestly, sometimes you can't read into it too much. It's simply just to get the guys having some fun, have a laugh.
Honestly, the vibes looked phenomenal.
Yeah, it was great. A couple people got hit in the face. It's a classic. Everyone thinks they're aiming at the ball, and then you just chuck in a little grenade to someone not paying attention.
All of a sudden, you
just go pure dodgeball with it.
Yeah.
I think it's just a little something to keep it light, really.
Okay, but the intention is to get the yoga ball to hit someone?
Yeah, no. So it's like you're each on a side of the circle in the middle of the field. So you each have a semicircle, and you're throwing the ball to the other side to knock the yoga ball through their line.
Oh, gotcha. Because at one point I thought...
Just riveting stuff.
Are they throwing...
And then classic, everyone gets mad and everyone stops playing by the rules. People kick the ball, people smash the yoga ball.
Oh, yeah.
Typical.
Yeah. I thought at one point you were throwing them at each other, like dodgeball style, as you said.
That's usually how it turns into.
So what would you say the overall morale and vibe is of the team right now?
I'd say it's pretty good. Obviously, it's a big game and everyone's looking forward to it. When you have like a full week like this to prepare for a big game, I think everyone starts the anticipation is building and you really want to get there. But you obviously want to show up Sunday as prepared and feeling as good as possible. So I think the vibes are right where you want them.
Mm-hmm. And I remember last year, obviously we don't know if this is going to be the same situation coming up, but you had 2 weeks to prepare for a final. What were some of the pros and cons about having something like that? Like
after the course of a long season, like any days you get of extra rest, they are a positive. So I think it's a thing that we love to talk about in the media and make a bigger thing than it actually is. That everyone's like, oh, you just want to keep going, you want to stay fresh.
Yeah.
But if you can use days to actually recover and give your body some rest, like that's always going to be an advantage. So it's really just how you use the time that you have. And I think that's something we did very good last year.
Yeah.
Funny enough, in that time, my boots were actually lost after the Calgary game, and I couldn't train for a few days because my boots were getting shipped back from Calgary, and I think they...
You left them in Calgary?
No, I didn't leave them. They were left.
I'm
not saying who did it, but they were left. Yeah, they were in. I put them in the bag. This is like drilled into my brain from like a child. Like, you're not allowed to show up to practice and forget your boots. You're not allowed to, like, you pack your bag, you always make sure they're there, and they just didn't make it home.
Dang.
But hey, we got there. So I got a couple extra days.
Well,
maybe
that's
it was strategic,
probably good. Who knows? But aren't there extra you can use? Like, how did that get you out of training for a couple days?
Well, because I brought them all for that game. Calgary plays on grass, and like you never know with the weather and all the stuff. So I brought all my boots to Calgary, and then they were all stuck there.
You brought, and by that, like a couple pairs.
I'm not like crazy. Yeah, I brought a few pairs, but I don't have like that many.
So you probably needed the 2 weeks to just figure everything out.
Just then. It was. You need it. Take those.
But I see what
days.
you're saying in terms of we don't need to make it a bigger thing than it is. Okay, we have 14 days. Obviously, that's unusual considering the schedule that we're used to. But
I think it's just one of those things where it's like a talking point where then people would just flip it either way after. Like if you get the result, boom, needed the rest, 100%. If you didn't, it was like, oh.
They fell out of rhythm.
Yeah, they were lazy.
They were lazy. Too many days off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Never getting a day off ever.
One other thing I wanted to follow up on from our last conversation was Nana not really knowing the names or not making an effort to know anybody's name. Or just maybe it was a bit at some point.
Could have been a bit.
He's
a very funny guy. I think he's a big morale guy in the room.
100%.
Always making everyone laugh. So at this point, it very easily could have been a bit.
Has it continued?
Knows everyone's
Okay,
names. He's got a couple nicknames that he goes by. I'll leave that to him if he wants to disclose those. But I think I'm fairly confident he knows everyone's name.
He's got an interesting sense of humor, hey?
Yeah, he's always just poking at everyone.
And it's pretty dry.
It is. It's surprisingly, and like you never really know if he's
kidding,
if he's taking the piss, or if like he's being dead serious and drawing a line in the sand.
Oh, 100%.
And then he gives you like a little smirk, and you're like, oh, this guy.
Okay, that's exactly it.
100%.
Because that was me in the first interview that I did with him. mind you, when we did our first one here, it was pretty serious because he was like sharing his story and like what it was like coming into this group, and he was very, very new. But since then, I think I had, because my first impression was pretty like toned down and serious, I've had like a little bit of a wall up with the joking because I don't know whether to poke or to, you know what I mean?
100%. And he's good at it.
Yeah, he is.
Especially if that's like the first impression that you have, you're obviously not going to come out and be like, oh, this guy's just making fun of everyone all the time.
Yeah.
So that's it.
I do think though, like once I had a conversation with Benni in the room, he opened up completely.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I think they have something.
Yeah. They've obviously been friends. They've played together before in Belgium. They have a good relationship, and you can see it. Like they kind of feed off each other when they're
100%.
when they're poking at everyone in the locker room, and it's funny to watch.
Okay, I want to reminisce on that first episode that I was telling you about earlier. As I said, tough watch. It was a good conversation. This was the one that you kind of pinned on me and started backfiring with the questions, and then I was freaking out a little bit.
Yeah,
I looked a little manic, to be honest. Like I know I laugh a lot during interviews, but like it was more like panic. Like, how do I respond? Do you recall?
Oh yeah, I think I know which one. I was like, this is my podcast now, essentially.
And I really respect you for like running with what I was giving you, because the first question I asked was just, what's your earliest memory?
It's the hard-hitting question. A lot of direction. We're really gonna just narrow down what we want to talk about.
I was watching that like an hour ago, and I said exactly that out loud to nobody. I was like, what? Like, what? No context. Just earliest memory.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And you ran with it.
What did I go with?
I think you said something along the lines of like being in the car, and you were like 3 years old, and you said something with directions.
Yeah. Glenn missed the goddamn turn.
Yeah, and they were like, who just said that? And it was you.
It was me.
Which is hilarious. But there were some other things.
That's podcasting right there.
That is. And I learned a lot since then.
Okay.
So it was great. But you talked about Benni and where he was at a year ago. And I wanted to contrast now.
Yeah.
At the time, he said he was falling asleep, like flipping you off with the middle finger.
Yeah.
Still doing that?
No.
Okay.
Now he does real funny sleeps. He like I think all kids like they just like fully like sprawl out. Like he just sleeps like Frankenstein arms all the time, like just arms straight out, like on his side. It's hilarious. Yeah, he's killing it. Guy sleeps through the night, just wakes up, and then he's a million miles an hour running around everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah, he's good. He's
it's
thriving.
Like night and day from our last
Oh yeah, he's in daycare full time, and like watching him and his little like buddies run around, it's pretty sweet. Yeah, pickup is awesome.
That's fun.
Yeah.
What did you say about him catching stuff? Like he just like.
Yeah, the classic like baby stuff. So the guy he can throw pretty well.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, he's got an arm on him. But like classic little kids, when you say catch, they just like put their arms out and close their eyes, and you just rock him in the face. And he loves it. Yeah. So I'm just throwing it like a little harder every single time.
Yeah. Do you think he'll get to, like, depending on when he actually chooses to pursue a sport, if it were to be like a baseball or a football or.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think the cheesy answer is be like, oh, I just want him to be happy. But I would be lying if I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't want him to pursue football.
Yeah.
I think that would be awesome. I would love to watch him play, but yeah, like day by day, he's kicking the ball a lot more, which is pretty sweet.
Okay.
And I'm not going to lie, I'm telling him to do it a little bit more. So we'll see how it goes.
It's all about the reps. We'll plant the seed.
Getting reps early.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, he's so funny. The amount of times he like goes to like swing the ball and trips on it and falls over, and I'm just dying laughing. It's great. Yeah.
You gotta set the tone though.
Yeah.
Like,
it was. I mean, having him at the stadium after that Ottawa game was pretty special.
That was great.
He was a little like hesitant. There were so many people, and he was kind of like he is a little shy guy. But there was a moment I put him down, and he like kind of relaxed, and he just sprinted right to the media board, and he was just like punching it over and over with all like the lights and stuff going on the sideline. So then taking him away from that he was pretty upset. But that was pretty sweet.
Loves the media board,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I saw you bring him out during the shield lift.
Yeah.
And I think it's just gonna be so cool, because I think when you think about, for example, you being the back of that car, like who knows? How old is he now? 3?
No, 3.
2?
You did it last year.
4, 5.
A year and a half.
He's a year and a half? I thought last year he was like at least a year.
No.
Sorry.
Hey, there's zero offense, but that was just
that
was more a testament to your math than anything else.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I've been more exposing myself on that front on the audio network than I ever have before. All I'm saying, building core memories.
Yeah,
That's gonna
100%.
be good.
That's
I
it.
don't know, like, given he is 1.5, I don't know if he'll remember, but, you know, as you keep bringing him out to these things, I'm sure he will.
we got picks.
Yeah.
Credit to everyone on the content team for making sure we have those memories as a family, which is pretty special. And we'll see. Maybe there'll be more to come.
I can't believe that. 1.5. 3? How old is he?
4?
4 or 5?
7? What day is it today? November?
You also said in the last episode that whenever he had like big milestones, it was followed by the night from hell or something. Like
No, the night from hell. Then
it
the
was the
biggest
big
milestone.
milestone.
Yeah.
What are the recent ones that you've noticed? And is that still the case?
Honestly, those have gotten a little better, to be
Okay.
honest. But yeah, like now it's just running around. Like he like throws out a word randomly that you're
Okay.
just like, whoa.
Whoa, where'd you learn that
So
one?
you're like a human being now? It's great. It's hilarious. He's been saying sauce a lot, but he says it with like such a baby list. So it's just like, sauce. It's awesome. He's just, I'm like, all right, buddy, sauce. So then I just walk around the house saying sauce all day, and he's just saying sauce. I'm like, this is what it's all about.
That's too good.
Yeah, me and him got the same level of IQ, so it's good.
Awesome. How many words do you think is in his vocabulary?
I don't even. What's a good number? See this? I'm gonna expose myself with math now because someone's gonna be
okay.
like, not even close.
Well, it's
I'm gonna
hard.
say 10.
10?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was it? When did he have his first like words?
Well, he was saying like mama and dada a lot, but it was kind of like he was just like saying it to everyone.
Right.
And now, so it's like very specifically like he knows.
He knows
and
what
like,
it's
asks
for.
it
Yes,
and like
yeah,
all
yeah.
these things. So like last like month or two, like everything's just getting like a little clearer. Loves Wheels on the Bus.
The
Like
song?
if you don't play Wheels on the Bus, so I think he thinks that like a phone is strictly for Wheels on the Bus.
Oh.
And he loses his mind.
So he'll see
if,
a phone and be like,
if I take my phone out, he just starts going like Wheels. He's like, do it.
it's time.
And he's just like, like he does a lot of like grunts. He's just like, do it. And then he'll say, but he says bus. He'll be like, bus.
Bus. It's
Yeah.
time.
And it's like, look, come on. And then he does Baby Shark, and he does like, he does that.
That is
and
a
he goes,
classic.
And he just goes baby over and over and over. And if you don't play it, then you're just gonna get yelled at.
Where did that like what? When did you start playing Wheels on the Bus? How did that?
Pretty well. So he wasn't in daycare right away when my wife went back to work, and so I was actually bringing him to my parents' house. So I was doing like a drive into Oakville, drop him off, and he hates the car. And the only thing that would like keep it going was
Keep
like
him calm is
like
the
Baby
song.
Tunes is like crack for kids. It's
Baby
like catnip.
Tunes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's unreal. And
Wait,
so
what did you say? It's like what?
like catnip. And he was like, "Wheels on the Bus" is my song.
So that was
So,
like on the way.
It was
to...
like put it back. And so I feel like I've kind of created a little monster because I cave every time. I don't play anything else. So
Right.
we listen to 2 songs.
Would that be your like if you I don't know if you have like Apple Music or Spotify, but it's gonna be like
It's
your
100%.
recap.
Oh, my Wrapped is
Your
going to be
Spotify Wrapped.
It's going to be like Sharon, Lois and Brown, Coco Melon, like
Coco
Raffi,
Melon.
all of this
Coco
stuff.
Melon.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
like
good.
Baby Shark's going to be in for sure. which
Okay,
is,
well we'll have to revisit
This is
that.
who I am
Actually, I'd
now.
love to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Last thing on this subject was the Halloween costumes we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
What did you end? Do you remember the one that you followed through with? Because I remember at the time you were kind of brainstorming. I was talking about being a chicken
For me?
for Benni.
Last year, so he was a giraffe last year.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we actually have a pic, so we could probably throw that in here
Yeah.
as well. This year, we got him a fireman one, but it was too big, so we gotta like scramble and figure something else out.
A
we have
fireman?
Yeah, it was pretty sweet, but he won't wear the helmet, and it was like too big. We put it on, and he just threw it across the room.
Honestly, next year though. Who
Yeah,
knows?
so we got to scramble and find something for this year, but I'll let you know. No
Remember-
ideas right now. We're taking suggestions.
It's gonna be a game day. Yeah,
Yeah.
same. Okay,
Pop
let's
a poll
do this
up,
again,
see what the
please.
forgers want to see.
Yeah. You mentioned that you were still holding a bit of a grudge against your parents for making you not Batman but Robin.
Yeah. I've also caught some flack from that since because they're very adamant that I absolutely wanted to be Robin.
You wanted to be.
Yeah.
And you know what?
But I think
believe
that's-
them over you.
That's fair.
100%.
That's fair. So I don't know if I can throw them under the bus anymore, but they're adamant that that's who I wanted to be, and that's why I was Robin. And I don't know. I think the jury's out on that one.
I'm really glad to hear that you've been moving on from that and just like coming to terms with maybe it was
Just
your
accepting
thing.
that
Just
poor
accepting
decision.
that.
Yeah. That was
Okay,
the start of a
doesn't matter.
long line of poor decisions from
Listen.
Kyle.
Okay. We've been this is our third, fourth maybe podcast together, so I feel like I'm catching on to some of the terminology that you use.
Oh boy.
Obviously, we're talking about Benni's vocabulary, but there are certain things that you say that I feel like I am actually catching on to as well. And I saw this thing online. It was like, if you had to wear a shirt with your most used phrase on it, like what would your shirt say? Does anything come to mind for you?
No.
I'm thinking just guy.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Just a shirt with guy on it.
Yeah, I say guy a lot.
There's a couple things where like the old
Yeah. Well, the timing of this is hilarious. So I was on CHCH yesterday, and after our chat on the podcast and me very adamantly being like, I'll never watch it, I was like, you know what, I'll watch this thing. And Kyle wanted to see it, so we pulled it up, and I honestly almost had a nosebleed watching it. I said, "That's huge," 400 times. Like, it was outrageous. I was like, if I say it one more time, I'm going to punch the screen. And it was so bad.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean though.
But and the worst part about this is, like, I pick up on all of these things when other people do it, but I'm not like the biggest public speaker.
Yeah.
And so then when you're in that moment, it's insane. It just like incepts you, and you can't do anything.
You can't get out. No, that's me in 100%.
Yeah, it's
100%.
But once you have it, you don't realize how many times you've said it.
No,
and then on the
because it's
spot, you're
almost
like,
like-
I can't think of anything else.
Yeah.
This is all I know. These are the only words I know.
That's huge.
Yeah, that's
because
it.
it's also like a filler when you're there, like maybe transitioning to a question or you're responding to something. Yeah, it's just like that's huge. You're also that for unreal. That's unreal.
Yeah, I have a lot of these, I think.
Maybe we should just do a shirt with a couple bullets, you know?
Just all of them. Yeah, guy would be a big one. Mm-hmm. I say babe a lot. Mm-hmm. What else do I say? Jammed up.
Oh, the 100%. See? 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Jammed up. And then honestly, it's just whatever phrase is I guess top of mind will be used.
And then it's just
every
gonna
other
go,
line in
yeah. It's also a day by day thing, but there's
Truly.
a couple core.
Oh yeah, guy,
ones.
babe, jammed up, jamming me up. Those are. You could probably tat those on my forehead.
Gosh. No, I remember you saying in the last episode that we did that the last season of Game of Thrones really just
jammed
you up.
Yeah, and I'll never watch it again. Garbage, worst show of all time.
Whoa. I will have you know that since that conversation, I have started watching it, and I've gotten like 3 or 4 seasons in.
Okay.
So I'm
How about that
approaching
Joffrey though?
Oh, we don't even need to
Talk about getting jammed up.
Talk about getting jammed up.
I walked away from the show. I'll pick this up when he's dead.
You know what though? Okay, really quick before we move on. Joffrey, apparently the actor, literally quit acting because people hated him so much.
He was too good at his job.
He was way too good.
Yeah.
Joffrey
crazy.
got so many people jammed up.
It really is funny when you think about it. You have these characters in shows that are the worst, and you're like, did these guys just nail it that perfectly?
Or
that I now hate them as a human being?
Yes.
Because I don't see you as anyone else.
Yeah.
I can't look past the show.
if I saw him in real life, let's say meet and greet, Game of Thrones meet and greet, Joffrey comes out.
Yeah. Throwing stuff at him.
I'm throwing stuff at him. I'm literally giving him the cold shoulder.
Yeah.
I might even throw something at him.
It's insane.
It is infuriating. Anyways.
Impressive though.
Hope he's doing well. I think he's pursuing some other things.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. We're talking about your slang. However, there are some key words that you should be aware of that are just generational. I don't know if you listened to the episode that Louie and I did on CHH. Mitch said that he...
Yeah, Mitch.
Yeah, no,
he
it's
was
fine.
telling me about it.
Whatever. Anyways, he was using me as his Gen Z expert, and I was telling him about some different words that he needs to be aware of.
Okay.
So I just wanted to give you like 4 or 5 to keep, like just to...
Stay hip.
To stay... stay hip. Let me get my computer. I have some notes here. 1 second. I don't even know. It's going to be a completely different world.
I think I'm going to know all these
though.
All you guys say is aura and demure, and you reuse words that are already words. I know stuff.
Okay. You actually might be fine. I was not
But
expecting
you also
that. I thought you were
flippantly use aura.
Okay. So
Like you
let's
guys use
just-
aura for someone who's never had aura.
Yeah. You know what? And this is what I'm finding. The words we think can be used loosely are the ones that
Shouldn't be.
And Dave, sorry, Cadeau, called me out and said, Mackenzie, that person is not iconic. You cannot say on the podcast.
That man, he's been in the game for a while.
He'll know.
He understands. He's a wordsmith.
That's what he is.
Yeah.
That's what I knew. Okay, I can't be using these so lightly.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm guilty of it too.
Okay, check off aura. Already know. Delulu,
Yeah, delusional.
obviously.
Junk.
Mewing.
Mewing. I don't know that one. What's that?
Dan, can you show?
Never even heard of that.
Oh, I can't. No.
Do it.
You go ahead.
What's mewing?
Dan.
You go ahead.
It's basically when you put your tongue to the roof of your mouth so that your jawline structure looks like better. So you
Is that a thing? Mm-hmm. Is that what does my jawline look good?
Okay, ready? Wait, okay. Did you see it?
Do you have to like smile as well, or just doing it is enough?
Just tongue to the roof of your mouth. I'll try and do it when I'm not pressured. See?
Yeah, it's
you
like-
can do it. Dan, you can actually do it.
Long.
Is it like whistling? You can't whistle when you're happy. You can't whistle when you're happy.
Do you see?
Yeah, I see it. All right.
Kinda like that.
Yes, yeah. That's exactly what I mean. Anyway, so if you hear the word, that's what they're referring to.
What else we got?
Ohio.
I feel like I might have heard this. Does
People-
Ohio just get chirped all the time?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's that. So I guess it's like if it's something is weird, like unusual,
That's Ohio.
strange, like yeah, it's not cool.
Have you used Ohio?
I don't use it.
Okay.
Skibidi.
No, come on. That's not. There's no chance. Skibidi?
Yes.
I mean, this is okay. This is awful because now I can remember when I was probably like 13, 14 and I started saying stuff like our slang and my dad was like, "You're an idiot."
Yeah.
And now I'm that guy.
Yeah, you're an idiot.
That's
I
awful.
don't know what-
Meanwhile, my favorite word is jammed up. So it's like, all right, pot and kettle here.
Yeah.
Keep
Exactly.
it going. Everyone's
Pick your poison.
skibbity.
Yeah.
Just skibbitying everywhere.
Skibbity doo dah. Don't really know what it means.
I don't know that one. That one's even too brain rot for.
This is all brain rot. I'm so sorry.
I feel like that's also one, and you're calling everything brain rot.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. But that also falls into the category of like Gen Z
Exactly. Yeah,
terminology.
exactly what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
And you guys have used brain rot quite a bit in this pod. So that should be on the list.
I mean, you can't say that you're leaving this podcast without having learned a few things.
Always.
Shared a couple
Learn something
stories.
new.
Okay.
Just got better.
Thank you so much, Bekks, for coming
Thanks
on.
for having me.
I love exchanging, vocab.
Giving the people what they want.
See you
That's
soon.
another one that I say all the
Give
time.
the people what they want.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to Max Access on the Forge Audio Network. If you like what you heard, please like, follow, subscribe, comment, and share.